Here we are with the third and final installment of Revenge of the Fallen Randomness this year, and after the last one, I'm going to need a bit of a palette cleanser. We've been over this before, but a lot of the Revenge of the Fallen designs are a bit different, but of the new ones, I think Sideswipe is probably the strongest, at least in terms of the Autobots. But another is Jolt for sure, because he has a very unique character design, and it's one of the few Bayverse designs that don't piss off the G1ers. Ooh, that's not what he looks like. Oh wait, none of the Jolts before this mattered. Yes, that includes you. But another thing about Jolt is, he's kind of an afterthought. GM wanted a few new concept cars to be featured in the movie, which is why these two split up. Bumblebee got the Z28 bumper this time, and Sideswipe's the new hot Corvette that never came out. And then there's this. This is Jolt's vehicle mode. And believe it or not, this is the randomness of this figure. What was Michael Bay thinking? I realized GM had a heavy sponsorship in this film, but God, they could have picked any other car for this guy. People were just starting to discover that the hybrid fad was about to kick off, so Chevy had to capitalize on it early, and they rushed out a plug-in electric hybrid car to compete with a market that, I hate to say it, but didn't really exist yet. That didn't stop Chevy from overproducing this thing until it was such a problem that they were going under, and the financial crisis hit them. So 8 years later, Donald Trump was like, I'll save you guys, but you have to stop making the Volt. That's insane. One of Chevy's most controversial cars is in one of Michael Bay's most controversial movies.
Ironic.
But anyway, for it being a very basic hybrid, this car is very well detailed. The Chevy logo is painted on the front. The pinned-in wheels have that aluminum sheen to them, even though on the production car they were probably not. And the blue they picked is actually very, very nice. It's also funny that this car looks like it has a moonroof, but it doesn't. But here's the funny thing. The original concept for it had a moonroof. Besides the rear not having a license plate, it's actually very well detailed with the Volt logo and the painted-in taillights as well. Despite this being better looking than most hybrids, somehow the Prius still outsold it. Talk about a brick to the face when a plug-in Prius whoops your ass and you came out first. As for features, all I can really tell you is that it rolls pretty good. So yeah, not a terrible car mode, and despite it being the weakest car in Chevy's lineup, it could be a lot worse. David, transformation. The transformation is definitely one of the best of the line. Just with how you don't know where anything's gonna go, it's so unpredictable. The front of the car ending up where it does on the back is so original, and the way the door wings work gives me life. And I love how the feet accordion out. And then we finally transition to robot mode, and what the hell happened to his head? Yep, this head sculpt didn't appear in the movie. It's not like you would know considering you see him literally twice in the film. But no, this was concept art for him. And funny enough, when he appears in the Dark of the Moon line, he still has that head. That plays back into the weird communication about this character with Takara and Hasbro. Hasbro had initially told Takara that Jolt was just cut from the film, and Takara was like, alright, we'll shut it down. Until shots of the Egypt battle started coming in and Jolt was there, and they're like, oh god, we gotta get it back out again and finish it in a short amount of time. And even though 90% of it was concept art, they still pounded it out and got it to retailers somehow. And they were like, hopefully this turns out okay. I hope nobody notices. And to be fair, well, it was. It was fine. It worked out. The robot mode is good, and despite the inaccuracies, I don't think we cared because what you're watching right now are his only appearances of the robot mode the entire movie. 3 times. He doesn't show up in the Shanghai fight, he doesn't show up to avenge Optimus, and he doesn't show up when they jump out of the plane. This is literally all there is. And then Michael Bay's press guy or something told IDW that he would not be returning for Dark of the Moon, so they just killed him off in the prequel comic before the movie per Bay's orders, basically. And then he showed up in the next line anyway. But no, this robot mode is good. Inaccurate? Yes. But nobody cared. Like, at all. The head sculpt is pretty cool, despite his eyes being a little beady. Normally, the translucent plastic that's used on this chest would also be a red flag, but Hasbro and Takara had the foresight to put a piece between this and the joint. The rest of the detailing is on point too. Plenty of technological greebles everywhere. My only complaint with the detailing is that both sets of wheels are visible on the robot mode, and there's some transformed ones in his legs. Okay. The other thing I don't like are his feet, because how the hell do they work? Like, do they go up like this, but with the tab in the way from full clearance? Or is this right? But it's still hard to situate them this way. I think I'm overthinking this a little bit.
It's almost not worth thinking about.
Overall, it's a solid robot mode, and I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. So, as for features, he has these all spark blue cranks on the inside of his arms, and you turn them, and now he's got his electric whips. But there's one thing. How do these things work? We're expected to believe that these are his weapon of choice, but we never see him do anything with them. He only uses them to magnetize and combine Jetfire's parts to power up Optimus. And I can't even say that, oh, he really shoots him off in the IDW comics. Nope. They added him in late to the run because they didn't know if he was once again a late addition or not to the movie cast. So then they made Shockwave show up since he was going to be there, and kaboom, he's dead. The f***. So yeah, he's got kind of weird weapons, but at least with something like that, hopefully he's posable, right? Articulation on Jolt. Well, it's kind of hit and miss, to be honest. The head basically does nothing. All it does is tilt from side to side like he's a curious dog. The arms are pretty good. They don't really go back that far because of the back kibble. Unfortunate, but they're ball jointed, so they get a lot of range of motion. And he's got a very, very, very shallow bicep swivel. Like, it's right there by the shoulder joint, which is weird. And then that joint can go up as well, so you can really kind of go up there, you know, and I guess signal a plane to come in or whatever. I don't know. But you've also got a waist swivel, which is kind of rare on a figure design like this. And then you've got ball jointed hips. And then you've got no thigh swivel, but you got decent knees, and then his ankles can do this. I mean, I guess you'd call these ankles. I don't really know what else you'd call them. And then you can move the hoof foot however you kind of want. Although not really, because it's in one of those weird ball joints. But the articulation's usable, you know. It's something you would use. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not setting the world on fire either, but still not bad. All in all, Jolt is a good figure. He's got a big following despite not being in the films for more than 5 minutes. By the way, shout out to my guy Razor. He's like the biggest Jolt fan I know. But the vehicle mode is probably the weakest in the movie car lineup, and the gimmick's a bit weird because the whips have no clear function, but he's a cool figure. I would definitely recommend this guy for your collection. I would 100% give him a look. But this has been Revenge of the Fallen Randomness for the year 2025. I've been Treebot. Keep growing your collections. And we're going to get right back to some regular reviews coming up soon. So stick around. Treebot out.